Okay, now that we're done manufacturing our coaster on the Laguna IQ CNC router, we're going to bring our coaster over here. We still have the tape installed, which was used to hold our stock down in our fixture. So I'm going to very carefully remove the tape. And of course, you always want to use tabs when you do your software setup. Keeps the part from coming loose, which would either damage a tool. I'll throw that in the wastebasket. I'm going to turn this over so our coaster is turned out nicely. And for this process, I won't be wearing my hearing protection, but you always want to have your eyes protected. And this little hand saw works well to cut the tabs, and it cuts as you pull up. So now I've come up to a tab, and I'm just going to slowly work the saw up and down, kind of like a jigsaw, but it's all manual. So there's that tab, and I'm going to spin it like this. And I'm keeping the edge of our contour near the edge of the table, and it helps to support it a little bit more so that we're not getting a lot of vibrations. There's that tab. So I think this application had 4 tabs holding our coaster into our stock, which was really good. That kept things from coming loose. And keeping my thumb out of the way, because that would be bad to catch the thumb with the saw, and I'll move that out of the way. And now this coaster is loose from our stock, and we're ready to do a little bit of sanding work. Now with the sanders, which are next to us here, we're going to walk around this way. And with the sanders, we have an oscillating drum sander here. We also oscillate a belt sander. Now because this happens to be a square contoured coaster, most likely to get the tabs cleaned up and the edges cleaned up, we'd want to use the belt sander. Would work better, but I'll turn this on, show you real quick what this does. And our vacuum's quite loud. That might kind of mess with our video a little bit. I'm going to put my ears on. We reach down, turn the vacuum on. And then there's a switch here to pull up on. So you always want hearing protection on when you're doing this station. And I'm going to move down here to this belt sander. Again, it oscillates up and down. That helps so that the sanding belt doesn't get full of sawdust, and kind of helps keep it clear a little bit. There's a stop here. I'll go up against that stop, and it'll help us keep our stock perpendicular with that sanding belt. And I'm going to go ahead, this is going to be loud again. I'll turn this on, put my ears on. So while running this belt sander, you do want to make sure that you hang on tightly. So hang on to your stock, a good grip on the stock, and don't push real hard against the belt sander, because if you push hard against the belt sander and you're hanging on lightly, it will end up going across the room and possibly hitting someone. And the other thing I didn't do, but you could do this, is to put the piece of stock on an angle a little bit and knock off the burrs. But then we also have a sanding station to help clean up the surfaces as well. So we're going to move down to those sanding stations. So right here, this allows us to run a sander like this orbital sander, and when we turn this on, it draws all the sawdust, hopefully a lot of it anyway, down inside. So I'll turn on this here. Slide switch here on the side, on the top. Start that. it's always a good idea whenever you're sanding to make sure you sand with the grain instead of going against the grain. So even an orbital oscillating sander like that, I still tried to do a lot of the motions with the grain, if you can see that there. So that cleans that up real nice. And then there's some hand detail sanding that has to take place sometimes when you do lettering like this, and we have another station over here to do some of that hand sanding. So that's pretty much a quick introduction to our cleanup process. So that is part of the process in manufacturing, is to take any of the imperfections off, some of the burrs and things that are left from the routering application. Have a great day.